Happy May the 4th be with you, everyone. Happy Star Wars Day. It's always a fun day to celebrate Star Wars, even though if you have mixed feelings like me with what Disney's done with Star Wars. But hey, it's always fun to celebrate Star Wars, regardless of how you feel. But today we get great news. We get great news about Star Wars moving forward. The news is that Taika Waititi is going to write and direct a feature film Star Wars movie. He's also going to write it with Krysty Wilson-Cairns. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but she wrote 1917. She was nominated for an Oscar for that. And Taika Waititi won an Oscar for Jojo Rabbit. Also, Leslie Headland will write it as well, and she'll produce the show too, and she's been doing Russian Doll on Netflix. I heard it's pretty popular. I don't know if it's good or not, but I can't really judge it because I haven't seen it, but I heard it's pretty popular. This is some of the best news about Star Wars we've heard in a long time, probably since we heard Jon Favreau was going to create The Mandalorian. Taika Waititi already has some Star Wars experience so far, and he's already killed it. He helped produce The Mandalorian, and he directed the finale. But the thing with Star Wars right now, I think it needs another resurrection. I'm not saying it's dead because I think The Mandalorian's great, and I heard Clone Wars is really good. But fans are pretty upset with everything that Disney's done so far. I don't think many fans like The Rise of Skywalker. I know Last Jedi is very divided, and then Force Awakens universally liked. As the trilogy progressed, they lost a lot of fans, and fans are pissed off. They need a fresh face. I think Taika Waititi is perfect for that. Because, for example, with Thor, he basically resurrected the MCU. I'm not saying Thor was dead by any means. He just had the two worst movies. Like, his individual movies weren't great. Not counting the Hulk. I'm not counting the Hulk as a movie. That didn't exist. No. But the two first Thor movies were not that great. They were all right. But when Taika Waititi got the rights to Thor and he made Thor Ragnarok, he understood it was a badass character. He understood that he could be one of the coolest Avengers, and he made him that. Thor Ragnarok is one of the best MCU movies to date. And that's what I'm saying he'll do with Star Wars. I think it needs a nice, refresh. I don't know how to explain. It needs something fresh, and Taika Waititi can do that. I think he really understands what fans like about Star Wars, because that's what he figured out with Thor. He understood what Thor fans knew from the comics and made it come to life. I think with Star Wars, he's going to do the same thing. He understands what fans love. He's such a creative mind that I think he's going to make an amazing movie. Now, I'm not saying that J.J. Abrams doesn't understand Star Wars. I think he clearly does, and he's a big fan. He grew up with Star Wars, so I do think he understands what makes Star Wars special. I just think there was a lot of interference with Disney, and he couldn't really make what he wanted. Then Rian Johnson, I do think he understands Star Wars. He was just trying to be a little too different. He was trying to be too unexpected with The Last Jedi, which rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I don't think he doesn't understand Star Wars. He just didn't understand what to do to progress the trilogy in the right way. And getting Taika Waititi involved for a brand new fresh start is such a great idea. He was so creative in Thor Ragnarok. Jojo Rabbit's a great movie. I honestly haven't seen all his other movies, but I heard they're good. He's a very creative writer too, and I think with the team that they got, they're going to make a great Star Wars standalone film. I just hope that they stray away from everything Skywalker. I love The Mandalorian, but it still is in that Skywalker saga. It still has to do with the Empire a little bit, the Rebels, all that stuff. I want this Taika Waititi Star Wars film to have nothing to do with the Empire, the Rebels, X-Wings, TIE Fighters, nothing with that. I want it to be completely new, completely different characters, completely different scenarios. I'm fine with the Force being in there, but I want something completely new. I want us to not even hear the name Skywalker. As much as I love it, I want us to try something completely different. Because Star Wars is such an endless universe. There's endless possibilities, and I feel like Disney so far hasn't really opened up these possibilities at all. Mandalorian's cool, but like I said, it's still in that Skywalker saga universe. They need to do something new. And I think Taika Waititi is creative enough to find that new universe that will really make Star Wars fans happy. That will be completely new with new elements and everything, but there's still some in there. And Disney needs to just stay out of it, honestly. I know with The Last Jedi, that's what they did, but like I said before, Rian Johnson was just trying to be too unexpected. I think they can trust Taika Waititi not to do anything too outlandish to where no one likes it or it's that divided. I feel like he's going to find something that everyone enjoys. And if this movie's good, I hope it gets a sequel. I think it's cool that they haven't announced a trilogy because they know they could easily be like, this is going to be Taika Waititi Star Wars trilogy. I'm glad they're taking their time being like, all right, if this first one's good and it has something that can be progressed, if we can, develop these characters more, let's make a sequel. Now, I'm not going to put it past Disney if the first one is amazing and makes all this money and stuff and there's nothing to progress to force them to make a sequel. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm just saying, I think it's unique that Disney hasn't already said this is going to be a trilogy. Speaking of trilogies, is Rian Johnson's trilogy still being made? I mean, Maybe it's a hot take. I hope it does. I think Rian Johnson could make a great Star Wars trilogy that has nothing to do with the Skywalker stuff. I think with The Last Jedi, he clearly had a great direction. Like, it looks amazing, and there's stuff he does understand about Star Wars that's cool, but he did not do a good job of progressing the Skywalker story from The Force Awakens. So I think if he gets, like, full control of just a trilogy with new characters, just with Star Wars elements in it, I think that could be pretty good. Maybe that's a hot take. I hope they make that still. But back to Taika Waititi, I am excited to see his Star Wars movie. I think this is great news. He's such a creative filmmaker. He understands the material, why people love it, and I think he's going to live up to that. I hope Disney decides to take their time with this material. I hope they take their time with this Taika Waititi movie and really see if it does need a sequel. And if they decide it does need a sequel, I hope they plan it out right like they didn't do with the sequel trilogy. So, Taika Waititi is directing a new Star Wars film. How excited are you? Thank you guys so much for watching. Click here to see more of Davey Dave's Takes.